Hello everybody. Welcome to my dining room. And I haven't been on in a long time, and as you can see I'm still on the oxygen and still have been really sick with a lung infection, and so I look kind of bad. I'm in my pajamas, but that's the way I quilt. So today I'm going to start the kids' my new great grandbaby's baby quilt. I started it once and I had to take out a lot of stitching because I didn't press my backing. So that is where I'm at right now, is pressing the back, and I'm going to turn you down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And I have it just about done because this is the third time I've tried to do this video, and so I about have it pressed. And then from here I'll lay out all the elements that are going to go on it, and we'll pin them on. So,
Mama, what do you want to lay out these,
choose some cereal. Okay, so anyway, that's what you need to do, is give it a good pressing with some spray starch to give it some stiffness. And I think that this is the bottom where I picked the stitches, so I'm going to turn it back around. And you're looking at my ironing board, so you're only going to see part of it for a minute while I lay these out and pin them down. There's a spot that didn't get pressed out, still a little damp. So let's go over that and press that starch back out. Get it good and dry. And I might have to do some trimming on some of my pieces because I did try to put them down once before, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to put them down again like they were. So I'm going to get these and get my scissors over here, and I'll show you what happened. Is I decided I would turn this and do the turned edge applique, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and it, like I said, it puckered and it bubbled and it did some crazy things. So now I'm going to do just raw edge applique and call it good. So I have to trim off these sewn seams. So I just freehanded this cloud, and that's what it is a cloud. And I really need to take it off of here, off the batting, and I'm going to press those seams out, and then we'll cut those edges and get it pinned down. It won't take much to trim those seams, but I don't want them like that because they're going to be really frayed as I'm sewing them, and I don't want them to be frayed. So I'm just go around this, pull those seams out where I can cut around it again. And I didn't have a pattern for this, so I don't have a pattern that I can offer you, but it is just free-handed cutting, and you know, I just kind of tried to make a long cloud shape, and there's going to be another little cloud over here on the top, and this will eventually have his name embroidered on it. So this strip will have my baby's name on it. So anyway, that's where we're at, and now I'm just going to go right around this and cut this down that seam line that I put in it and didn't care for, and cut off those frayed edges. And I'm not worried about it being particularly straight. You know, clouds don't have straight edges, so I did try to curve it in places and But my scissors are not cutting. Feels like something has been cut wrong there, right in that spot with them. So, anyway, we're going to go around this. And actually, I ought to lay it out for you so you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see that I'm just trimming a little piece off of this. And yes, it's leaving lint all over the quilt, but like I said, that'll all come out in the wash. Get this around here so I can trim some more. And try to keep that wave in the quilt. Boy, hold that up, be able to cut it. I don't quilt sitting down. That's part of my problem. I don't usually do this sitting down. Now, that's better. We'll get up here over it so I can see what I'm doing. Follow those edges a little easier. Get those pieces off. Turn it on around here. And I wouldn't have to be doing this step if I had not done that sewing, but it was not good. You know, mistakes are made, and you just have to pick them out and keep on going when you're doing something like this. But you can see actually how easy it was to cut this shape. I cut it just like I'm doing right now. I just did some, you know, some uppers and lowers and tried to kind of keep them where they weren't all together, but you know, didn't necessarily get that done. But, and this is just a long little cloud here that's going to be floating across the quilt, and we're about to get it finished up here. Okay, there we go. There's our cloud all trimmed up. Now I'll get my batting, and I'm going to have to trim it up just a little bit because I want this batting underneath this. We'll get it turned around here where it might fit a little bit better. I did have it cut once. Let's see what we can do here. It doesn't have to be perfect under there because there'll be a little bit of quilting in it, but I just don't want my edges to show. So I'm just going to cut around them. And
Bear Mom.
Tom's got to have a place to eat, so I'm going to have to set him on the other side of the table. Right over there, Tom. So he just woke up. But I've just been itching to get in here and get some of this done.
Guess my stomach was growling on me, that's why.
His stomach was growling on him is why. So anyway, today was the day. I feel a little bit better. Still not strong, but I feel better than I have in quite some time. Okay, there's our batting cut. And I can stretch that out just a little bit to the edges. I don't want it showing out from underneath it, but as I'm sewing, we can cut that out. Okay, I'm going to place this across the bottom. And see, I've moved it here. Make sure I'm covering all that batting. That piece can tuck in right there. And I'm starting down kind of low. I've cut this piece 42 by 42 square, and then I will put some borders around it. And I hope to have it so that I'm going to make a border wide enough that I want to applique I love you, high, high to sky, whole world over, which is what I've always told my grandchildren and my children. So that's one of their favorite things, and so I thought it'd be nice if I just embroidered it around the edges of the quilt, which will have a white binding around it, because she did want it all in white and gray. Okay, I have to get my pins, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back with my pins. I left my oxygen on the other side of the room. Had to go back after it. And you know, if you circle a table, it will hang you up. So, I'll get up here. And I'm going to pin this down with safety pins, because that's what I've got down here. I prefer a straight pin. But, I'm not going upstairs after them today. And I don't know how long this video will be. I have a feeling that this will take a series of videos. So, I hope y'all bear with me and enjoy watching. Okay, I've started down at this farther end where you can't see it, but I'm going to pin this down. And then we'll be ready to put it under the needle. If I can get my pins all pulled apart. Let's try that one. And I'm pinning it about every 5-6 inches, about a palm's width between pins. Since I'm on my cloth ironing board, I have to lift it up a little as I pin to keep from going through my ironing board and, you know, catching it too, which I have done several times.
Mom, what kind of baby are we having, Mom?
We had a little boy, Tom. His name is Archer.
Archer?
Mm-hmm. That little thing, 3 days old, and that child is smiling, and he is such a darling. He is such a darling, such a pretty baby, and I mean actually smiling. It's not you know, just a gas grin. I've got a picture of him with his daddy's giving him a kiss, and I'm telling you that child just smiled, just purely smiled, and he's going to be a good-natured child, I think. But then he's been well loved. And this will be their last one. That makes them 3 kids, so they decided that was plenty. They have 2 boys and a girl. My Madeline, that I've talked about a dozen times, I know that you've heard me talk about her a lot, is their middle child. and Kendrick is their oldest one. So we've got, they've got a lovely little family, and they're precious to me. And I have made all the great-grandbabies a quilt, and I was beginning to worry about this one, whether I was going to get it done or not. All right. Exactly even on here, but I really don't care because my other cloud's going to lay right in here, so it will come that way a little bit. It's not as big a cloud, but it will lay that way. He's sitting right there and there. Pin down this bottom. And now, put one in the center here to help hold it. Maybe a couple of them. I sure don't want it to pucker again. I'm telling you, that stitch pulling is just not fun. It's just not fun. Okay, I'm going to have to come under that one to get it. All right. That.
All right, Mama had a bowl of golden balls, something.
Okay, Tom.
My stomach was kind of growling on me.
I am videotaping.
I'm done with cereal though.
Okay, I need to turn you around to my sewing machine now, and I'm going to just zigzag around this quilt. Get it where you can see what I'm doing, maybe. I hope that I hope that works. Okay, I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to get this under this needle. Although actually I want to change my needle before I start. I want a good sharp needle on this. And I bought some new ones. Now if I can get them up, get them open. Here we go. And I want a 9014, which is one of these red ones right here. And this is a little Brother Project Runway sewing machine, and I have made quilts on this. I don't know how long. I wore one of them out, and I just don't think you can beat these little sewing machines for being able to sew. Okay. My needle's all threaded. I've got gray thread on the bobbin and white thread on the top. Okay. We're going to put this up here. And I'm going to go right to the edge of this stitch, of this piece, and right to the edge. Get you a little bit closer so maybe you can see, and down a little bit more. Okay, so I'm laying right on the edge of this cloud. That's my thread. Get my foot pedal around here. And I've set my stitch length at 3, and I want a zigzag, so I'm going to set the zigzag at 3 too, and then I'm going to start. Okay, here we go. And we're just going to come right across that edge, half on, half off. And we're going to go all the way around this cloud. Kind of lift it up. Let the machine pull it so I'm not pulling against it. And make sure I've got everything out from underneath it. Move that bolt, please. Move these over here so I'm not going to hit anything as I go around it. Take that out, please. And clean up that end of the table so I don't get it on the quilt. And this is raw edge applique. And if I had my fancy machine down here, I could make fancy satin stitches and that kind of thing around it, but I don't. In fact, it needs some adjusting, so I haven't used it in quite a while. My other one is a straight line quilting machine, which I will be using on this, I think. But I think I'm going to just put some, because I've just got to have a little color in this quilt. I may do some light gold stars on it. And that material seems to be wanting to stretch just a little bit. I don't want it to. So I'm just going to ease that in. I'd rather have a little pucker in my cloud than to have it come completely out of shape. Okay. Now I'm going to gently ease this around.